bug shit. Stupid bug shit. If you're done on that truck layer. All right, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about another P365. I know what you're thinking, like, how many 365s does this guy own? I really told myself, like, I'm done doing 365 videos. I've 365'd it enough. But this one is different. This one is the P365 AXG Legion. It's the only 365 that SIG makes that comes from the factory with an aluminum frame. So I spent the $1,100 to see if this was going to be worth the damn, and I think it is. Let's get into a few more stages. We'll come back with a tabletop look over the top of it, and then finish up with some pros and cons. Are you ready? Yep. Stand by. If you're done on that, clear. Okay, here we are over the top of the box. As you can see, it fits in the box. It fits in the box even in the holster. You might not pass the stupid ruler test, but whatever. Even without the holster, fits in the CO box easily. But yeah, fits in there with the holster too. So let's take a minute and just talk about the features of this thing. So these are some of the things that I did to it. So here, lock grips. Magwell came with it. 17 round magazines if you live in a free state, 10 rounds if you don't. This is the Romeo X Compact. Right after I bought this, they came out with the enclosed emitter, but whatever. This one still works pretty well. No issues there with the dot yesterday. If you don't know, this is the macro slide. So it's got the slide ports there, or slide compensator. I'm iffy on this thing. It has the, I put the Go Guns gas pedal on it. I think it's hideous, and I would have preferred the other one, but we'll get into that more in the cons section. So, lock grips that are brass, along with an aluminum frame and the magwell. All the accoutrements. What does it weigh? 25.6 ounces without the magazine. With the magazine, 28.3 ounces. So that's a hefty little, it's not really a bug gun, but hefty little carry gun. Yeah, let's take a look at a few more stages, and we'll come back with the pros and cons at the end. If you're done, I'll let you clear. All right, so those are the stages. We put together a pretty good match, me and this thing. So I went 0 down for the whole match. I think that I was running this a little slow because I'm still not used to dots, so I'm just kind of like, hey, there it is, pull the trigger and go. But man, as I'm learning with dots, as I get more into this is really kind of my first, this and the 2311 that I've been shooting in USPSA. It's really kind of the first jaunt into shooting dot. So like, I'm excited to see how that goes in the future. But let's get into some pros and cons. The first, I know a lot of people are going to like this. I'm going to talk about it in the cons too, but it's got a pick rail up front, a regular Picatinny rail as opposed to the SIG proprietary rail. It's got an extended slide release and a magwell. All those things come stock on this gun. I don't know if you can really call it stock because this is the Legion. It's their, I think that's out of their custom shop. I don't really know, but yeah, comes with all that stuff right out of the box. Interesting side note, when I went to put this in, I took this FCU, I was screwing around putting different FCUs and different stuff, trying to figure it out. Put this FCU into a different, into an Icarus frame, and I couldn't get the slide to go forward because this was too long. It was hitting on the frame. I didn't really understand what was going on, so I just forced it down, which is like what you should do. If things aren't working, just force it. And I like cut the, I don't know, shaved or cut or whatever, the finish off that other frame because this was a little bit bigger. And as I look at it now, there's like a little bit of an extra cutout for this big slide release, but whatever, that is what it is. Pro, this is the only aluminum frame that I'm aware of. Well, I guess SIG isn't making the Icarus frames, but they're selling them on their website. But it's the only regular 365 aluminum frame. Which I kind of like. It feels really good in my hand. Yeah, it's much better than the stock 365 plastic frames in my opinion. It's up there with the Wilson Combat frames. The Wilson Combat frames, if I've replaced all of the plastic frames with Wilson Combat frames that I have. I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty sure, just like the 320 AXG, that at some point these will be available in not this. I don't know, man. The Legion Gray isn't like the end of the world. It's not hideous, but I would have preferred black, and I'll bet they come out with it in silver and black at some point and sell it to you for an incredible amount of money. I mean, like just firstborn level amount of money, because that's what SIG likes to do. Next pro, the optic mount doesn't remove the rear sight. So on the 365, the original 365 XL, when you took, it was like on a sight plate, so was some of the 320s. You remove the sight plate and off comes your rear sight. And so that is, SIG quickly fixed that when they, I assume, got yelled at by a million people who didn't want that. Another cool side note, if you do take that off the rear sight, this Romeo X Compact has a built-in fiber optic rear into the back of the housing of the dot. So that's pretty cool. If I had known that they were going to make an enclosed Romeo X Compact, I probably would have got that. But I literally like bought this dot, and then like a week later the enclosed one comes out. So my bad luck. The lock grips add texture and weight. And removing the grips was super easy. So it's just one star bolt on either side. It wasn't difficult. I had to take the magwell off. There's another bolt at the bottom. It comes right off. It was a little easier than the AXG, the 320 AXG, in that there's a back strap, so you got to pound out a pin to get the back strap off, and the back strap can be kind of tight. And so this was super easy compared to that. You get a little bit of a palm swell and more texture with these lock grips. I tried the aluminum ones too, and they were fine, but they were like a little bit shiny, and so I didn't like it. I had to wait on these guys because Lock was being slow about making them, but they came out and got them, and it makes it puts the weight further back in my hand, so the slide just kind of, it's like a sewing machine, just kind of ticks away while I'm holding onto the heavy grip. 17 round mags. If you live in a free state, unlike California or Washington, these 10 rounders are whatever, but 17 rounds in this little package is pretty amazing. And I know there are +5 extensions out there, so I don't know what somebody needs that. Maybe you carry it as a reload for your concealed carry time. Concealed carry time. They sound like story time or something like that. But when you're doing concealed carry, you could carry the +5 as a backup mag, and then have 17 +5, whatever that is. The SIG Romeo X, the battery compartment is side removal, so you don't have to take the dot off. The Romeo Zero, which I have on one of the other 365s, you got to take the whole side off. So I don't know. Every time that I have done it, I take the side off, I put the new battery on, and tighten it back down, and the dot is still on. However, I wouldn't not check it. You know what I mean? And I'll probably replace this battery and check it anyway, but you probably don't have to. This is aluminum housing. It's probably not going to lose your zero by just changing the battery, whereas the plastic Romeo Zero, I feel like you might. So I think that's a benefit over the Romeo Zero. The reticle in here is, you got 3 options. You got regular dot. I don't remember how big it is. I want to say it's 2 or 3 MOA, something like that. Looks to be about that size. A circle or the circle dot. I meant to try the circle dot yesterday if there was like, and this is just Joe Bro sciencing, like maybe there's a place for that circle dot if you're shooting competition or something like I do, and it's like, oh, this is a really fast stage and I just want to see the dot a little faster maybe, so I need it bigger, so you put the circle up there. I don't really know. But yesterday there was quite a few tight shots, so I just felt like a little more precision with that small dot was called for, so that's what I did. There are plenty of holster options out there for this thing. For me, with that hideous Go Guns gas pedal, Four Brothers Holsters makes a holster specifically with the cutout for that, so that's what I got. If I had it my way, I would like to have something smaller up there. I think that thing just makes it kind of hideous. But I'll get to that in a minute in the cons. The cons. So I know that everybody was jazzed about it's got a Picatinny rail up front. I can put any light I want on there and any accessory I want. But I think that this just, on my carry guns, I don't really care about a light. Like most of the time I'm in the daytime, so I don't know. But I think this is hideous. Like it's ugly. I don't need this extra rail down here, because if I put anything on this extra rail down here, then it's just what am I going to put it in? You can't find a holster for this and then a light. So like, I don't know why there's this extra pick rail there, and it just makes it look big and ugly and dumb. So I don't like that. I wish that they had gone with just the regular SIG proprietary rail, so I could get that really slim Go Guns gas pedal on there. And if I really want a light, then most of what I'm doing is the TLR7s, and the TLR7 sub you can get for that the inner piece that the inner piece that makes it so it can go onto the SIG proprietary rail. So I just really don't have a need for a pick rail. I don't care about it, and I wish they had just made it the SIG proprietary rail. I'm super jazzed about the Tyrant CNC. They're going to make they say they are on their website, a back row frame that has the SIG proprietary rail and it has the same trigger guard, because Wilson, you really I almost said the F word. This is family friendly. You really screwed that one up, because they made I was super excited about the Wilson combat frame. You can put the tungsten rods in it. It's shorter, so you could put the 3.1 inch barrel on it, or you can put the comp barrel on it from the macro. But they made the trigger guard wider than every other trigger guard, and they put the SIG rail on it, which I liked, but it didn't go back on the frame far enough like every other SIG rail does. So the attachments that you could put on it I couldn't find any. So I couldn't put the Go Guns gas pedal on it. And I was like, well, this is just useless, because I don't want to buy another holster if I can even find one. I don't want to really. I suppose I could probably heat it up with a heat gun and stick it in there and make it work. But I didn't want to do that. I felt like it really missed the mark. So here we are reviewing a Wilson combat frame during the AXG Legion video, but whatever. Yeah, the trigger, so this is supposed to be their custom shop, and I know that this is probably intended, most people aren't going to use this for what I use it for. Most people aren't going to screw around with this in IDPA or other shooting sports, they're gonna buy this and carry it. And so the trigger is perfectly fine for a carry gun. For my purposes, I was like, part of the reason is because like I enjoy just kind of messing around with guns in general, but 365s and making the triggers better. And this one is just dog shit. So yeah, I didn't care for it at all. And then on top of that, I don't know if it's because of the extended slide release or what, but I was messing around putting some of my other FCUs into this frame, and I could get a couple in there, but and I don't know if it's because I changed the trigger or whatever, but I put the tacticaltriggers.com trigger into one of my FCUs, and when I want to put that FCU into this, it just won't fit. Like it will, I pushed it all the way forward, you know, like you do, but it will not come down enough to get this. I tried everything. I tried everything I could think of, which is not very much, but I couldn't get it to do it. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe it's just that these are, you know, the tolerances are a little tighter on the AXG, or maybe it's just the one I got. I don't know, but I couldn't get it to go in. So, oh yeah, definitely a con. It's expensive for a carry gun. I mean, this was $1,100 before tax and the ridiculous fees that Washington State makes me pay. And then I bought the aluminum grips for it, which were, I don't know, expensive. And then the brass grips were $120 or something like that. And so there is an expensive thing to build, especially if it's going to be a carry gun, and then that costs something. But so it'd be an expensive carry gun. It'd be really expensive if you were to, God forbid, need it, and then the police take it away as evidence for God knows how long. So replacing it would be, you know, once they take it away, they don't give you money for a new one. They just take it. So yeah, I could see that being a costly endeavor should you need to use it. This is kind of a con. I don't know. So you get a Legion bag and a Legion coin, but they're shipped separately. So I don't really know what the point of that is. Like if you're going to give somebody a bag and a coin, maybe they save money by not giving it all out at once. But there's plenty of guns, especially expensive guns like this, that come with you know, whatever bag it is they're going to give you and their coin, which I have it right there. But I can deal without the coin. I don't really care about that. But I really like the bag, especially for 365s. They fit all the stuff in there really well. So yeah, I don't know why they're going to ship it in a box. Just put it in the bag, and then we don't have to deal with shipping two things. So, my opinion. Where do I see this, or what place do I see this having an IDPA? Okay, back after a short word from our sponsor, and I had to charge the camera because it went dead. So where does this thing fit into IDPA? It doesn't really fit into IDPA very well. So I shot an SPD because I wanted to shoot my, you know, CCP 105 power factor ammo and screw around. I didn't really want to take it too seriously. I just want to screw around. And so it doesn't fit into bug because it has an optic. So that got me thinking, like, you know, what kind of where could this idea or this sort of gun fit? And it's in like an actual carry gun. And I think I've talked about this before, that I think that we've kind of gotten away from in IDPA the idea of this should be a sport that we're shooting our carry guns at. You know, my buddy Josh, he shoots, it's basically an open gun. I mean, it's got it's a CZ, it's great, it's heavy. The dot just, I mean, like, it just barely moves like this. It's supported. He shoots in an open in USPSA. It's literally an open gun, and it's completely IDPA CO legal. I've often thought about making a video of just making a god awful like CO gun, like a big, heavy, like the biggest dot I could find, the biggest, heaviest frame I could find, and just making a terribly gaudy but IDPA CO legal gun. And maybe I'll do that for a video. If you want me to do that, let me know, because I think it'd be hilarious. Anyway, with that in mind, I was like thinking about bug optics again. I've talked about that before. So I put a survey up on one of the IDPA forums with a few options. The options are, you know, what do you guys think, or what would you like to see out of something this size, or bug optics? The options were bug optics division 10 rounds any dot, bug optics 8 rounds any dot, bug optics division 10 rounds but shield RMSC footprint only, so like only the small dots, or bug I don't care about dots but increase the capacity already, or bug optics 6 rounds any dot. I'm happy to report bug 6 rounds any dot has got the least amount of attention, and what's gotten the most votes is bug optics division 10 rounds any dot. And I think that would be, I think that would be a good return to shooting our carry guns in IDPA. I think there's a lot of people who shoot their big guns with these huge dots, you know, the 507 comp or the big Trigicom one. I can't remember the name of it. The SRO. And then they go back to their truck and throw on their 365X or 365XL or even a macro with dots on it. So I don't necessarily want to increase the size of the box for bug, but I think just allow optics and bug and 10 rounds, because 6 rounds just doesn't make any sense with these little guns, because even the small SIG you can hold 10 rounds. So yeah, even if you leave the box the same size but make a cutout for an optic and allow optics and bug, I think that breaks up CO division, because I don't know about you guys, but just about every match I go to, CO is over 50% of the field, and I think that yeah, I think this would just be a good way to break that up. So anyway, if you like videos like this, check out the playlist. If you don't want to hear me ramble on about the nonsenses of my opinion, then just check out the match playlist, where you can just see me shooting these things and form your own opinions, or you can go buy the gun and form your own opinion that way. But yeah, check those out, and we'll see you on the next one.